Hello students, today we will see about endothermic and exothermic reactions. So let me see some example such as melting of ice. Melting of ice. So if there are some ice cubes, if heat, external heat is given to that ice cube, then slowly it is melt and form water. Okay, means this ice convert into water. What will be the temperature of ice? About 0 degree Celsius. At 0 degree Celsius ice is formed. And what is the room temperature of water, normal temperature of water? It is around 30 degree, we say. Okay, so ice which was at 0 degree Celsius gets the heat from outside and convert into water which is about 30 degree Celsius. From where this extra 30 degree Celsius came? From the outside. Okay, got it? Means ice don't have any heat inside it, it gets from outside and it became water. So this process needs external heat. Okay, if there was no heat, then ice could not be changed into water, could not be converted into water. So that ice needs external heat, and if any reaction needs external heat for its completion, then that reaction is known as endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. Any type of reaction which gets external heat and complete this reaction, then this is endothermic reaction, means outside heat. Okay, means when ice get heat from outside, it gives us water. This is the endothermic reaction. Now second example, water freezes to ice. Now water is freezing to convert into ice. So suppose there is water, and if you cool down it, if you cool this water, then it became ice. Okay, so what will be the temperature of water? About 30 degree Celsius. What is the temperature of ice? That is 0 degree Celsius. Means at 30 degree Celsius the water loses its heat and became 0 degree Celsius ice. In this process the heat is evolved, evaporated, get lost or goes outside. Means water is giving that heat. So in reactions in which lots of heat is given out, that reaction is known as exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Okay, so when water gives us ice, when it is giving us heat. Okay, water melts, water cools or freezes to ice, giving extra heat or releasing extra heat. So when heat is absorbed from outside, that is endothermic reaction. When heat is exhausted, given out from that reaction, then it is exothermic reaction. Okay, so this is the definition. During exothermic reaction, chemical reaction, heat is given away when reactants are transformed into products. When reactants transform into product and heat is given away, then it is exothermic reaction. And what is endothermic reaction? Heat is either absorbed from the surrounding or has to be supplied continuously. So when heat is given, then it is endothermic. When heat is released, then this is exothermic reaction. So look at these reactions. CaCO3 calcium carbonate. If we give heat to the calcium carbonate, it gives calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas is released. So in this process, heat is providing by us. We provide heat with the help of burner. So this is endothermic reaction. When calcium oxide is added into water, when the parts of some bits, some solid cubes of that calcium oxide is dropped into water, then CaOH by 2 calcium hydroxide is formed and lots of heat evolved through it. So when heat is evolved in the reaction from the reaction, then it is exothermic reaction. So these are the two types of reaction. When heat is given from outside or surrounding, then it is endothermic. When heat is released from that reaction, then it is exothermic. If you see heat in the reactant, endothermic. If you see heat in the product, then it is exothermic. Okay, now rate of chemical reaction. So there are some examples given to you, so we have to look at it. Cooking gas starts burning on ignition. What is the time taken for this? Approximate 1 second. You fastly click on the lighter and then the gas will be burned within no second, within no time, means approximate 1 second. Iron articles undergo rusting. This process will take 3 to 5 months or more. Erosions of rock takes place from soil. So creation of soil from rocks, this takes thousands of years. Alcohol is formed on mixing yeast in glucose solution under proper condition. So from yeast it is forming alcohol, then it is required approximate 2 to 3 days. Effervescence is formed on adding baking soda into test tube containing dilute acid. If you put some baking soda into dilute acid, then effervescence, fumes, smoke will come outside it. So that will take less than 1 minute. A white precipitate is formed on adding dilute sulfuric acid to barium chloride solution. So barium chloride solution is reacted with sulfuric acid, then white precipitate form. So this reaction takes approximate 10 to 15 seconds. So these are all the types, these are all examples of reactions. So their time is different here. Some are taking 1 to 2 seconds and some are taking thousands of years. It can be seen from the above examples that some reactions are completed in short time, that is they occur rapidly, but some required very long time, that is slowly, that is the rate of reaction. This is called as rate of reaction, means the time of that reaction. So on what basis, on what factors does the rate of reaction is based? So we will see. The same reaction occur at different rate on changing the conditions. For example, during winter long time is required for setting milk into curd. If you want curd from milk, so it is fast in summer but slow in winter. So what is the fundament here? What is the funda here? So we will see in factors affecting the rate of chemical reaction. There are some factors given that changes the rate of chemical reaction, on which the rate of chemical reaction is based. So we will see this in next video. Okay, so till then, see you, bye.